Did you know that coral reefs are incredibly important to our ecosystem? They sustain 25% of marine life in our oceans and also provide natural barriers for climate change. Coral are incredible animals. Yes, I said animals, and really important to many coastal communities who depend on coral and ocean health for jobs and also as a foundation of cultural beliefs. However, on average, 80% of Caribbean coral reefs are dead, and at the current pace, 90 to 99% of the world's reefs could be dead by 2050. It's a really stark statistic. However, I got a chance to visit Coral Vita, an amazing new social impact organization that is dedicated to preserving and protecting corals as a way to combat climate change. We had a chance to connect with born, bred, and Bahamian mermaid, Coral Vita's coral restoration specialist, Alannah Vellacott, to find out what tourists like me can do to preserve coral. Here you go. And shout out to Randi, my partner in travels.
Alannah, how would you say today we can protect our coral reefs?
There are many ways, many easy ways that we can protect coral reefs. One of them would be reducing your carbon emissions, and you can choose environmentally friendly alternatives to kind of daily routine activities that you do every day. You can carpool or bike or take public transport if it's available where you live, or if that's not really accessible for you or it makes sense for what you do, you can practice turning off your lights and fans whenever you leave your home or leave a room even. You can put your water heater on a timer, switch to LED light bulbs. There are lots of options that you can spend a little bit of time, maybe even just a little bit of money that will save you a lot of time, money, and will also save the planet. You can you can also visit the reef responsibly. If you do have access to the ocean or you're going on vacation, it's great if you have a boat, and instead of anchoring, that you find somewhere to moor your boat instead. That's where you hook up your boat to an anchor that already exists, so that you don't have to drop your anchor and possibly smash a coral reef in the process or destroy seagrass beds in the process. If you're snorkeling around and you want to take a closer look at what's going on in the coral reefs, be mindful of your kicking and waving your hands. Make sure that you're not touching anything. It's beautiful as it is, untouched. You don't need to touch it. Another thing you can do is you can eat sustainable seafood. You can reduce your intake of overfished species, and that can go a really long way with helping biodiversity recover. And you can figure out how sustainable your seafood dish is by visiting fishwatch.gov. It's a really cool website that'll tell you exactly how sustainable what you're eating is, if it's seafood. You can advocate for marine protected areas. So if you're in an area, or if you're not even in an area that has a water body or an ocean, you can still advocate for it by going online and finding petitions that are for protecting a particular body of water. It's also a whole lot more meaningful if you're actually a part of that community that's trying to protect that ocean, because communities use oceans and coral reefs in different ways. And so depending on the needs of that community, a marine protected area can mean we protect the entire thing, you can't take anything from it, or you can fish, but maybe there are some more rules along with what you can do in that area. You can support reef restoration. You don't have to be a coral farmer like me. You can go online, coralvita.co, not .com, and you can actually adopt a coral. And it's a really fun way to kind of help us at Coral Vita outplant corals and to be a part of that story. You get a really cool email thread about when we've collected your coral, when we've fragmented your coral, and when we've placed your coral back into the ocean. I know you've heard it probably since you were a kid, but you can reduce, reuse, and recycle.
That's always a great one.
You can reduce the amount of single plastic products that you use. You can reuse things like water bottles, or maybe give a second chance to a plastic bag, maybe that you've accepted and couldn't really avoid accepting. It can be used as a trash bag. I've used them as a shower cap before. Get inventive with the ways that you can reuse things to keep it out of the cycle of heading to the landfill. You could recycle products that you can no longer reuse. I definitely recommend going online and Googling what you can do with the plastic product that you have. There are numbers at the bottom at a lot of plastic products, and maybe on the inside of your plastic products. And you can Google, what can I do with number 2 plastic? And it'll tell you exactly how you can best recycle or dispose of it if you can't recycle it. Really important, you can use your voice. It's free. You get to vote. If you are a voter, you get to vote for politicians and government officials that prioritize climate change solutions, that prioritize taking care of our oceans and our coral reefs. That's where real change happens, and that's probably the most powerful tool that you have, your voice. You can also conserve water at home. When you turn on the tap, where does that water go? Down the drain. Where does it go after that? I don't know, away. Away is actually the ocean. And so depending on the amount of products that you're using when you're washing your hands or washing your clothes or washing your hair, whatever it is you're doing, it is very important that you conserve water. When you go to take a shower, don't stand there and just think about all of your struggles and let the water just kind of run for 30 minutes until you decide to actually start taking a shower. Funny enough, water is a finite resource. Drinkable, potable water is a finite resource. And if you're in California, I'm sure you're kind of feeling the squeeze of exactly what that means. And so conserving water is very important to make sure there's enough potable water to go around.
Thank you so much, Alannah. This has been super educational, also really inspirational what y'all are doing at Coral Vita. For those of y'all who want to follow their stories on Instagram, it's at Coral Vita Reefs. Also check out their website, as Alannah said, if you want to adopt a coral. And these are all the actions you can take today to support ocean health and to support coral reefs.
Much love to Coral Vita. Make sure you check them out and book a trip to Grand Bahama Island so you can see their coral restoration farm for yourself.